You ever notice how some men seem to have everything society told them to chase? Money in the bank, a nice house, a powerful car, status people respect, yet they still end up being left, replaced, slowly disrespected, sometimes even while the relationship is still technically alive. That contradiction confuses a lot of men, and for years it's been explained away with simple answers. She was ungrateful, she wanted more, she was never loyal. But the truth goes much deeper than that. It was never just about what you gave her, it was about what she felt in your presence. Money solves problems, but it doesn't create emotional gravity. It can buy comfort, but it can't manufacture respect, safety, or desire. And when a man believes money is the main currency of attraction, he often ends up investing heavily in the wrong place, until one day he realizes the connection is gone, even if she's still physically there. If you've ever been ghosted after doing everything right, replaced by someone who seemed to offer less, or slowly watched admiration turn into indifference, this isn't random, it's a pattern. And it happens when a man unknowingly loses the qualities that money can't replace. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 6 things women secretly value more than money. Not surface level advice, not cliches, but deep psychological drivers that influence long-term attraction, respect, and commitment. Once you understand these, you stop chasing love and you start attracting it naturally. So if you're ready to stop playing a game you were never taught the rules to, stay with me. Because what you're about to hear might finally explain why she really pulled away. Every woman will test you, not always consciously and not out of cruelty, but out of instinct. She wants to feel your emotional center. She wants to know if you are grounded or if your emotions run your behavior. And the moment she senses that your reactions control you more than you control them, something subtle but powerful shifts inside her. Respect begins to fade, safety starts to dissolve, and desire slowly disappears. This has nothing to do with how much money you make, how generous you are, or how well you treat her. If a woman does not feel emotionally safe in your presence, she will pull away, quietly at first, then completely. Emotional control is not about being cold or detached, it's about being anchored, stable, unshaken by tension or conflict. Most men were never taught this. Instead, they were taught to suppress emotions, explode under pressure, or shut down completely. So they swing between silence and outbursts, thinking either one equals strength. But a woman does not want to feel like she's walking on emotional uncertainty with the man she's closest to. Think back for a moment. Was there a time when you reacted out of anger, fear, or wounded pride, and noticed something change in her eyes? Not fear? Disappointment? That was the moment she stopped trusting your emotional frame. Here's a truth rarely said out loud. Her emotional reactions are not the real test. Your response is. She isn't trying to break you. She's observing whether you break yourself. When you stay calm, centered, and clear, she softens. She feels held. She leans in. But when you lose control, through anger, defensiveness, or emotionally charged silence, she begins to protect herself instead. Emotional control means slowing down when tension rises, breathing before speaking, observing your feelings without letting them lead. It means responding from clarity instead of reacting from pain. When a man can do that, his presence becomes stabilizing. And a man who can master his emotions doesn't just earn respect, he becomes unforgettable. She wasn't drawn to you just because you cared. She was drawn to your direction, your energy, the fire in your eyes when you talked about what you were building, chasing, or becoming. But somewhere along the way, that fire dimmed, and so did her attraction. Here's the truth most men struggle to accept. A woman does not want to be the center of your universe. She wants to be part of a man's world, not the thing that replaces it. When a man has purpose, his life has momentum, and momentum is magnetic. Purpose gives your presence weight. It tells her, this man is going somewhere. And when she feels that, she can relax. She can trust. She can follow without fear. But when a man loses his sense of direction, when he stops creating, building, and leading himself, she starts to feel the pressure of carrying his fulfillment. That pressure slowly turns into distance. Most men make this mistake without realizing it. They fall in love and treat it like the destination instead of the journey. They stop climbing, Stop growing. Stop pursuing what once gave them identity, and without meaning to, they turn the relationship into their purpose. That's when attraction quietly fades. Purpose isn't about ignoring her or withholding affection, it's about having something bigger than the relationship pulling you forward. A mission that exists whether she's watching or not. When you are deeply connected to your direction, you stop seeking approval. Your energy changes. Your confidence becomes calm instead of needy. If you've ever heard her say, "I don't know where this is going anymore," what she's really saying is, "You stopped showing me the way." She doesn't want to lead you. She wants to walk beside a man who knows his path. So ask yourself this honestly. If she were gone tomorrow, would you still know where you're going? Because the man who can answer that question doesn't chase love, he inspires it. She may never say it directly, but the moment you stopped respecting yourself is the moment something inside her began to change. Not suddenly, not dramatically, slowly and quietly. Attraction doesn't disappear overnight. It erodes when standards drop. You didn't lose her because you stopped caring. You lost her because you stopped leading yourself. Self-discipline is one of the most powerful, invisible signals a man sends. It shows in how you use your time, how you treat your body, how you honor your commitments, and how you respond to comfort. A disciplined man doesn't need to announce his strength. It's felt. Many men make the mistake of replacing discipline with devotion. They give more attention, more availability, more emotional energy, thinking that love alone will hold the relationship together. But love without structure loses polarity, and without polarity, attraction fades. Think about who you were when she first admired you. You had routines, you pursued goals, you moved with intention. Over time, comfort replaced hunger, distractions replaced focus, progress slowed. And even if she couldn't explain it, she felt the shift. A woman doesn't want to feel like she has to motivate you or manage your life. She wants to admire you, and admiration requires momentum. Self-discipline isn't about being rigid or obsessive. It's about reliability. It says, "I can be trusted under pressure. I don't collapse when things get hard." That creates emotional safety in ways money never can. If you want to rebuild attraction, whether with her or with someone new, start with your habits. Wake up when you say you will. Move your body. Limit distractions. Delay gratification. Track your progress, not for validation, but for self-respect. Because here's the truth. You don't need to prove anything to her. You need to prove something to yourself. When you walk with discipline, you don't chase. You don't beg. You don't drift. You stand grounded. And a grounded man is always remembered. There's a sentence many men hear that stays with them for years. "I don't feel you anymore, even when you're right here." It hurts because you were present physically. You showed up, you spent time together, but to her, something was missing. That missing piece was presence. Being around a woman is not the same as being with her. A woman feels emotional presence instinctively. She senses whether your attention is grounded or scattered, whether your energy is calm or restless. And when your mind is elsewhere, on your phone, on stress, on distractions, she feels alone even in your company. Calm presence is quiet strength. It's not performance or constant talking. It's the ability to sit with her fully, without needing to fix, distract, or escape the moment. In a world overloaded with noise, a man who brings stillness becomes rare. Women are highly sensitive to a man's nervous system. If you're tense, rushed, or internally chaotic, she absorbs it. But when you're calm and centered, her body relaxes. Her defenses soften. She feels safe. This is why presence creates deeper attraction than gifts or compliments. Your stillness communicates security. Your attention communicates value. To build calm presence, you must first protect your inner clarity. Reduce digital distractions. Spend time alone without stimulation. Train your focus like a muscle. When you're with her, put your phone away. Listen without planning your response. Let silence exist without discomfort. Presence also means allowing emotions without trying to control them. She doesn't always want solutions. Often she wants to feel understood and grounded through you. A man who can say very little, yet make a woman feel peaceful, holds immense power. Because in the end, presence anchors connection. And the man who brings calm into her world becomes someone she doesn't want to leave. She didn't drift away because you weren't enough. She drifted away because you stopped being aligned with yourself. That's a hard truth, but an important one. Attraction weakens when a man begins to compromise his own standards, not just with her, but within himself. Integrity is not about being perfect or morally superior, it's about alignment, when your thoughts, words, and actions point in the same direction. Women are extremely sensitive to this. They may not consciously label it, but they feel when a man is inconsistent, indecisive, or internally conflicted. When you break promises to yourself, that instability shows up everywhere, in your energy, in your confidence, in your decisions. And over time, it creates doubt. A woman cannot fully trust a man who doesn't trust himself. Many men only recognize this after the relationship ends. When the noise is gone and there's no one left to impress, they're left face to face with the question they avoided. Who was I becoming? Did you abandon your values to avoid conflict? Did you shapeshift to keep approval? Did you delay hard decisions out of fear? This uncomfortable space is where integrity is rebuilt, not through words or apologies, but through action. Doing what you say you'll do, keeping small commitments, saying no when something violates your values, choosing truth over convenience. When a man lives in alignment, he becomes grounded. He stops performing. He stops chasing. His presence becomes clear and steady. And that clarity gives a woman permission to relax, not because she's being led forcefully, but because she feels stability. Integrity doesn't demand attention, it earns it. A man who stands firmly in who he is doesn't need to argue for respect, he naturally commands it. Money can attract attention, but masculine energy earns respect, and respect is what sustains desire. This is where most men get confused. They believe providing more, spending more, or proving more will secure attraction. But what a woman responds to most deeply is not what you have. It's how you show up. Masculine energy is not aggression, dominance, or force. It's clarity, direction, calm certainty. A man grounded in his masculine doesn't need to over-explain himself or seek constant validation. His presence sets the tone without effort. Imagine two men. One has wealth, status, and comfort, but second-guesses himself constantly. He avoids conflict. He seeks approval. His fear of loss drives his behavior. The other lives simply, but when he speaks, there is certainty. When challenged, he remains grounded. When life becomes unstable, he doesn't collapse. He leads. The difference is polarity. Women don't crave money. They crave the emotional contrast between masculine direction and feminine surrender. When a man leads with certainty, she relaxes. When he hesitates, she hardens. Masculine energy allows her to soften without losing strength because she feels supported, not controlled. This energy is built through self-trust, through boundaries, through being comfortable standing alone. A masculine man doesn't chase peace by compliance. He doesn't fear disagreement. He leads with truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Women will test this energy, often unconsciously, not to undermine you, but to feel your stability. When you remain calm and rooted, she feels safe. When you fold under pressure, attraction weakens. Masculine energy is not about needing a woman. It's about choosing her from a place of fullness. That's when devotion forms naturally, because money may open the door, but masculine leadership is what makes her want to stay.